What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of That's a Wrap. This is the second episode. I'm doing this every single Monday night. Right now, today, I'm doing this at 6:05. I need to get out early because I'm finally going to go see Jojo Rabbit, which it's been too long, guys. It's finally playing at a theater that's very close to me. Like, it's probably like a 5-minute drive, and the movie starts at 7. So yeah, really excited. I will definitely do a review of that, a full review on my channel. So definitely stay tuned for that. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Not a ton of time. If you guys want to get your opinions or any of your questions or comments, and you want me to answer them live, then go to the chat board and ask your question, and I will see if I have time to get to it and answer your question. I'm gonna try to kind of fly through this. So the first topic I want to talk about is Disney Plus 1 week later. It has been a whole week since the launch of Disney Plus, and how has this week been? What are we seeing in terms of the technical difficulties? How are the original Disney Plus originals doing? How do they fare? And really, how is kind of the overwhelming excitement for Disney Plus? How has that kind of been registered throughout this week? Well, I have to say I've really been enjoying Disney Plus. I haven't used it maybe every day. There are some days where I use it more than others, but I've really enjoyed Disney Plus. I've enjoyed the content that is on there, especially some of the old school content, whether you're talking Boy Meets World, which I grew up on Boy Meets World. I've gone back, watched a few episodes from Boy Meets World that I absolutely loved. I've gone through and watched. There is a new thing that they throw in episode 4. They changed once again the Greedo and Han Solo scene. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just go watch it, and you'll see what they do. But so I've kind of been playing around in the app a little bit, and I watched one of the Disney Plus original films. I haven't watched Lady and the Tramp yet, but I watched Noelle. I'll give my review for that in a little bit here on this episode. But ultimately, other than The Mandalorian, is the Disney Plus streaming service really worth it? And I have to say yes. There's a lot of good stuff on Disney Plus. Whether we're talking backlog titles, I'm talking Black Cauldron, I'm talking Steamboat Willie, the original like animated classic. I'm talking Fantasia 2000. I mean, there's so much on this streaming service that it really is worth the $7 a month or the $70 a year. So I think that if you're going in with the mindset of, look, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I really love Pixar and I love Disney animated content, definitely buy it. If you're someone who loves Star Wars, definitely buy it. I've also been watching Star Wars Rebels, which has been pretty good because all the episodes are on Disney Plus as well. If you're someone who likes Marvel, but you also like a little dabble here and there of some of the older Disney classic films, maybe Swiss Family Robinson, Flubber, things of that nature, definitely go watch it, or definitely go get the Disney Plus app. Get the 7-day free trial, see if it's for you. And then maybe if you really do like it, go ahead and get the Disney Plus streaming service monthly. And it's a really good service. My wife and I, we've been enjoying it so far. Me probably more than her, but there's a lot to love about Disney Plus, and I think that we're going to see so much more content coming to the service very soon, and probably in the beginning of 2020, they're going to drop some new things and some new nuggets here and there. So ultimately, guys, what do you guys think about Disney Plus, and have you been enjoying it in this first week? Let me know down below in the comments section or in the chat, which is located just right here. Sorry, that's like super awkward. I can't twist right here, right there. Yes, right there. Perfect. All right. Anyway, the next item of business, Marvel. Of course, anytime the MCU is doing anything or they make any announcements, it is headline news. And the MCU has some new films slated for release. They have 8 films that are slated between 2022 and 2023. So what are these films exactly? We don't know. I think that it's a very good indicator. I mean, Black Panther 2 has already been announced, and they already have a release date for that. But whether we're talking Ant-Man 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, whether we're talking about Um, Captain Marvel 2, because we know that there's going to be a Captain Marvel 2. Avengers 5, whether we're talking about Blade. I mean, there's a lot of projects that are coming that we already know are planned, but have not really had a date yet and have not been scheduled on the MCU calendar per se. So it really kind of raises a debate where we know a lot of these films are coming, but which ones could be some surprising ones? Now, I think one of the biggest surprising ones that they could drop on us, and a newer film per se, is I think that they will do an X-Men film. I really think that they're going to do an X-Men film. I think this is the perfect time to do it. They have the Fox properties now of Fantastic Four and X-Men. I think X-Men makes a little bit more sense first as opposed to Fantastic Four, even though I guess more people, especially me, are clamoring for a Fantastic Four film probably before X-Men. But I think with X-Men, it's a very notable IP. They haven't had a lot of issues in the past with Fox's X-Men franchise. You know, whether you're talking about Logan, you know, the Wolverine films, the original X-Men run, or the new class, the first class of X-Men run. I mean, there's been some amazing things that have happened in the X-Men universe. And yeah, Dark Phoenix was a misfire for sure, even though I found some things to be kind of enjoyable in the film. Most of it was just pretty bad. But I think X-Men makes a lot of sense. They know that there's a huge fan base for X-Men, and you could really make an interesting, compelling story where it could be something about segregation, something that is a little bit more very relevant to today's society, today's culture, where you can have characters who obviously you're not going to have Magneto and that whole Holocaust story because that's a very older story, but you could do like something in terms of like segregation. You could do maybe like a huge event, maybe like something in Russia or like the fall of, you know, communist Russia, something where it's like a big event that is not so old and it's still something that has a reasonable timetable for Magneto to still be alive within the MCU. I think we got to trust Kevin Feige. I mean, he is the guy. Kevin Feige has not let us down. I don't think he's going to let us down. And there is no indication at all that Kevin Feige is just going to, you know, kind of put the MCU at halt. I think that they need something a little bit more fresh with the Captain Marvel 2, with Black Panther 2, all of these familiar IPs, these familiar heroes. I think it's a very important thing for them to kind of say, hey, look, we're going to make movies with new characters. We already have Shang-Chi announced. We have some, you know, Disney Plus projects in Moon Knight and Miss Marvel and She-Hulk. These are all new characters that are being introduced in the MCU. And I think that having X-Men, something that's familiar enough, but something that's still new to this franchise, I think it really could do. It could really bring in the masses, and I think it could be a big hit for Marvel. And we'll just have to wait and see where it goes. But I mean, other than Ant-Man 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Captain Marvel 2, I mean, all these ones that we already know about, I think there's a big play here with bringing in the X-Men, bringing in the Fantastic Four within the next few years, and really just having a fun time with these characters and having team movies that, you know, kind of feel reminiscent to the Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of feel reminiscent to the Avengers, but they're their own identity and they're their own characters. And Wolverine is going to be right at the forefront. So honestly, guys, what do you think these titles could be? These 8 new titles that have been announced? Let me know down below in the comment section, or you can go right here to the chat and let me know your thoughts live. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's take care of the next item of business. And guys, I am trying to move fast. Again, I am going to go see Jojo Rabbit at 7, and it's 6:16. So I'm trying to kind of make this a very short episode. I apologize. But when Jojo Rabbit's finally playing near you, you take advantage of it and you go see it because, gosh, I've wanted to see Jojo Rabbit for freaking months now. And it felt like I was never going to go see it, but now I'm finally going to go see it. So, yeah, I'm going to try to be specific, but try to also jump around and get to these topics quickly so that way I can leave and have enough time to get to the theater and all that good stuff. All right. The next item of business, third thing on the list. And I cannot believe we're talking about this because it has been 2 freaking years already. 2 years, people. The Snyder Cut. Gosh, the Snyder Cut. So obviously, over this past weekend, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, actors that have portrayed the characters in the DCU. Ben Affleck, who's no longer Batman, and Gal Gadot, who still is Wonder Woman. They got on social media and literally said, "Release the Snyder Cut." And so Zack Snyder once again teases the audience and basically doesn't really say much, but has kind of this cryptid message almost where it's like him saying, well, it's up to Warner Brothers now. Let's talk about the freaking Snyder Cut, because I am so tired of talking about this. It's been 2 years. Tired of hearing about it in on Twitter. Tired of seeing it trending. I'm so tired of this concept. Yes. Is there a cut that Zack Snyder made? Yes. Yes, there is. Is it complete? No. If he was to release it, if Warner Brothers was to release it, do you think people would actually enjoy it? No. And so I think it's so silly, this whole Snyder Cut debacle, because ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to get something that was 2 years ago. 2 freaking years ago. 2 years ago. I don't mind Justice League. I have fun with it. It's a fun, entertaining movie. I own it on Blu-ray. It's over there in my collection. But to me, it's 2 years old. I'm done. I don't want to see any more stuff about Justice League. It's 2 years ago. Let's move forward into where the DCU is going currently. Shazam was a fun time. I love Shazam. Aquaman, wacky and weird, but it was fun. It was fun. Joker made $1 billion, and it's not a part of the extended universe per se, or a part of any cinematic tie-ins in any way, shape, or form, really, to the DC characters now. We have Wonder Woman 84 coming out, which I cannot wait for. I'm so looking forward to Wonder Woman 84. They just announced Black Adam. They have the horrible title, Birds of Prey, Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, or some stupid crap like that, which I think the trailer looks terrible, but I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it because I'm a sucker for these movies. But look, okay, let's just stop talking about the Snyder Cut. Stop talking about Justice League. It was 2 years ago. Get over it. If they were to release it the way that it is, yes, again, Zack Snyder has a cut of the movie that is his cut. He probably has multiple, but it's not finished. It does not. Some of the audio is probably missing. It's probably blocky and weird, and the CGI just does not look good because they didn't have time to do the CGI. So if they were to release it, would it be a better film? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. I mean, not unless they gave him money to put production into it and finish it, which I don't see them doing. Warner Brothers had come out with a statement saying they are not, nor do they have any intention of releasing the Snyder Cut. And they just released that yesterday. So what does that mean, guys? What does that mean? They're not releasing the Snyder Cut. So can we please stop talking about this subject? I mean, it's been 2 years. 2 years. Let's just move forward. There's other things to talk about. If you're a DC fan, I get it. Your version of the Avengers wasn't really successful, and it's entertaining. I have fun with it. Is it a good movie? No, it's not good, but to me it's a guilty pleasure film that I enjoy. Man of Steel is one of my favorite comic book films of all time. I love Man of Steel. I love the fact that Zack Snyder gave us that movie, and that to me is my favorite film out of that era, I guess, of that DCEU. Now they've gone off and they're doing their own thing. They're not trying to be like Marvel. They don't need to be. So stop trying to bring this up with the Snyder Cut. Is it going to save anything? No, it's not going to save anything. It's not going to do anything. I get people's curiosity. I get it. But it's a dumb and wasted topic. It really is. 2 years, and this thing is still trending on Twitter. I see it at least once every month. Release the Snyder Cut, whatever. I mean, guys, just put it to rest. Put it to bed. It's done. It's over. With what Warner Brothers says, it's definitive. They are not going to release a Snyder Cut, so get over it. I'm sorry if I offend you guys, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments down below saying, from people who hate me because of my opinion. But seriously, what is it going to do? It's not going to change anything. It's not going to bring Ben Affleck back as Batman. He's done. Robert Pattinson's in. It's not going to give Henry Cavill, to me, is the best Superman we had ever. He's my favorite Superman. Is he coming back? Probably not. Get over it. Warner Brothers is obviously trying to move forward. They're not trying to think about the past. Let's just look towards the future. We know in the future there's going to be another Justice League film. You know it, guys. You know it. So calm down, relax, and let's just enjoy the comic book movies that we're getting now. I don't even want to talk about this topic anymore, guys. Voice your opinion down below. I'm sure a lot of you guys are really going to be upset with me because of the way that, I'm kind of basically telling you guys that this is not going to happen, and just put it to rest. I'm being honest with you guys, and you're only going to get my honest opinion. I just think it's so silly that we live in a society where people just expect things to be given to them just because they want it. It's like, that's not the way it works. That's not the way filmmaking works. Anyway, guys, let's move on to the next topic. This next topic is a fun one. This is the one that I really want to talk about because it's very interesting. It's definitely, to me, the most interesting thing, the most interesting topic of this week. It was announced that Nicolas Cage will be playing Nicolas Cage. So he's playing himself, guys. He is playing himself. This is a huge deal. And honestly, guys, I am all for this. I think it is absolutely hilarious. I think it is something that only Nicolas Cage could do, honestly. And Nicolas Cage is so over the top. He's one of the most entertaining actors today. Like, he's so entertaining. Any film that you watch, it might not be a good film, but he is the type of person that would do something like this. Now, he is going to be playing himself in a movie by Lionsgate called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. This is going to be his first studio movie since 2011's Ghost Rider. So that's a pretty big deal. But I don't want to really talk about that as much as I want to talk about Nicolas Cage playing himself. And this is going to be amazing. This is going to be great. And who better to cast as Nicolas Cage than Nicolas Cage? I think that this is so funny and it's so wacky and zany that it only makes sense for it to be Nicolas Cage. I mean, think about it, guys. I don't know if we would honestly be as happy or as excited if it was somebody like maybe Chris Pratt playing Chris Pratt, or Ben Affleck playing Ben Affleck, or Leonardo DiCaprio playing Leonardo DiCaprio. This is so awesome to me because we are getting a guy like Nicolas Cage, who's very transversatile in his films. Like, this dude is out of it. I don't know, like, a lot of the time he either gives like really over the top performances, or he gives like these performances that are comedic when they're not really supposed to be comedic. And I love that about him. I mean, he's an Academy Award winning actor. And to me, he's one of the most fun people to watch in terms of what he chooses to do. He's usually the type of guy who pretty much goes after any role because, he needs to eat. But guys, this is awesome. This is awesome. And the fact that we live at this time where we get to see an actor play himself, that's pretty freaking amazing. And get cast in this movie to play himself. I mean, it's not like, this isn't like a cameo appearance. This isn't anything like that. Because that wouldn't be big news. This is him playing himself in a big role for a studio film, which I think it's so fitting. It's so awesome that we have somebody like Nicolas Cage. I don't know if other actors would even want to do this or even kind of attempt to do this. I mean, it's such an interesting idea. It's an interesting concept. Very kind of dimensional in the fact that they're doing something like this. And I'm all for this. I really think that this could be something noteworthy. This could be something that we talk about for years to come. And what if this is the role that kind of puts him back on the studio map, where studios reach out to him, big studios reach out to him and say, hey, look, we have a project we want you to be a part of. And I think that would be awesome. I think it would be awesome to see Nicolas Cage on the big screen and not in a VOD type of role or type of performance, and kind of get the Nicolas Cage of old. What if, he's kind of figured it out, that he wants to be the type of actor who is an acclaimed and critically well-received actor. And he could do it. Nicolas Cage is the guy to do it. So I love this. I love this idea. Bring Nicolas Cage in. I think it's awesome that he's going to go do this. And it's almost like too good. It's like Face Off, Like Nicolas Cage is literally playing himself in a mirror. And it's going to be one of the best and probably one of the weirdest movies. I mean, the movie could be terrible. Who knows? But Nicolas Cage, even the terrible movies that he's in, he makes them entertaining to watch. And you just have a really good time with him on screen because he's going to be over the top, and he's going to be the type of guy who just puts it all out there, and maybe a little too much out there. So anyway, guys, what do you think about Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage? Let me know down below in the comment section of the video. All right, guys, let's move on to the next topic. The next topic and the last topic, unless you guys have questions right now, we don't have any, which is fine. I get it. I kind of announced this like a little later than usual. I wish I would have kind of announced this earlier to kind of get more people on. But you know what? It is what it is. It's okay. People will watch afterwards, and I'm okay with that. So anyway, the last topic that I want to talk about is the review portion of this episode. So after every episode, or at the end of every episode of That's a Wrap, I like to review movies that I don't cover on my channel. I don't make big, drastic reviews on these movies. I also want to, do movies that maybe are a little smaller or don't really have as big of a, I guess, following around them. There's not like a lot of people doing reviews of these movies, and they're not really movies that I have a ton to say about. So without further ado, let's talk about, there's two movies slated here. The first one is Noelle, a Disney Plus original film. And the second one is a Netflix film I was finally able to watch called Dolemite Is My Name, which stars Eddie Murphy. But let's get to Noelle first. This movie stars Anna Kendrick, Bill Hader. And oh my gosh, guys, this movie's absolutely terrible. Noelle is one of the worst films I've seen all year. It's not as bad as maybe like a Last Christmas, because at least with this movie, you get to kind of feel the Christmas holiday. And it's not so frustrating because everything is pretty much bad, that it's not as like frustrating or as, I guess, annoying. My one saving grace about this movie, there's two saving graces, and the first one is Anna Kendrick. I absolutely love Anna Kendrick. I've loved her ever since I first saw her on screen. I think one of the first movies I ever saw her in was Up in the Air. She is a phenomenal actress, and I think that she is the type of person who, I think she needs a little bit more beefier roles and something that is not like this at all. I really like Anna Kendrick. There's this innocence about her. There's like this kind of goofiness and awkwardness about her that just makes her seem like a lot of, friends that I have the same type of qualities and the same personality. And so Anna Kendrick, to me, I think she does really good. She's enjoyable to watch. She's entertaining on screen. And, I really do like Anna Kendrick a lot. The second saving grace for me is Billy Eichner, man. I never really liked him in Parks and Rec as Craig. I couldn't stand him in Parks and Rec. But I'll tell you what, Lion King, he was a standout. In this movie, I think he's also the standout. He's really funny. He's really entertaining. And, he kind of almost fits a little bit of kind of like the antagonist kind of villain role per se, but he's never a villain truly. And I don't want you guys to think that he's a villain. What I mean by that is he is a tech geek. And so he thinks of Christmas as a very analytically driven, science-backed holiday. And so he basically he has to become Santa because Bill Hader, who is next in line after, Anna Kendrick and his father, Santa Claus in the movie, passes away. and he gets cold feet, and so he moves to Arizona, where Billy Eichner then becomes the new Santa. This movie is just very predictable. It's very boring. The CGI is absolutely horrendous, and I don't understand how a movie like this, that was produced and distributed by Disney, I don't understand how they kind of let this go. I mean, the CGI is bad. It's bad. It doesn't even look remotely real, and the humor just never really lands. Most of the time, I mean, the whole time I just sat there, literally, just kind of like with a face of just like bored, like a really bored face. And it's honestly just one of those movies that I can't recommend anybody see. It's just really bad and really terrible. And I really hope that this doesn't become the norm for Disney Plus original films. I've not seen Lady and the Tramp. Haven't heard great things about it. I do plan on watching it sometime this week. But honestly, guys, this is a really bad movie. I actually might do a review on my channel for this only because I want to do one thing, and it's going to be kind of funny. But it's just one of those movies that is just so bad, and it's not even entertaining. It's not good. I'll never watch it again. Does it get you in the Christmas spirit? A little bit, maybe. I mean, there's snow in it. Santa's in it. And yeah, it's very predictable and just not a good film. So yeah, definitely a movie you do not need to watch, and nor should you. This is a really bad movie, and it's one of the worst of the year. So now I'm going to talk about the second and last review that I wanted to make for this episode of That's a Wrap. Is Dolemite Is My Name on Netflix. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I've heard Eddie Murphy is phenomenal in it. It is a film obviously starring Eddie Murphy as this character that is created called Dolemite. Now, Rudy Ray Moore, who is played and portrayed on screen by Eddie Murphy, creates this character Dolemite, who he's a struggling comedian trying to really kind of get his name out there, and he hears from all these stories about this guy named Dolemite. There's all these jokes around Dolemite and about this character of Dolemite, so he decides to kind of brand himself as Dolemite, and he goes and sets the comedic world on fire with his black comedy, and he ends up making a film. And it is a cult film. It is a black exploitation film, and it is a movie that I thought was really good. It's very riveting. It's got a fantastic ensemble of characters. Eddie Murphy's best performance in a long time. I think that this is a movie that could get Eddie Murphy a potential Oscar nomination. I think he's definitely going to be in the conversation, and he should. He does a really good job playing both Rudy Ray Moore and Dolemite, because essentially he's playing two characters in one, and he does a really good job of portraying this comedian who's really struggling to kind of get his name out there, to really become famous, because that's ultimately his goal. And he goes above and beyond to do things himself. And I thought that was really nice, because as someone like me who really wants to be a filmmaker and who wants to make, I want to make my own films, it's just really nice to see that this is how someone got there. And it gives me hope that I can do the same thing that Rudy Ray Moore did. And I can actually, get somewhere with, by doing things and working hard and just kind of trying to get my name out there as much as possible. And so it was a really good film, great dramatization. There are some funny moments in the movie. There was never, though, one moment that was a laugh out loud moment for me. And that's my only, I guess, negative of the film. I thought this movie was going to be a lot funnier than what it was. It was funny, but it wasn't hilarious like I had been hearing. I heard a lot of people say it was the best comedy of the year. I don't agree with that. I still think Long Shot is the best comedy of the year. It's still in my top 10. And this is a movie that's definitely my top 20. I think it's a movie that is very, very, it's very good. And it's a movie that is just something refreshing. Seeing Eddie Murphy playing a character like this, coming back and doing a film again in such a long time. It's been a while because he really had some stinkers. Um, and so it's really nice to see Eddie Murphy in a role like this, something that's challenging, something that is very dramatic as well as comedic. And he does a really good job. He really perfects and hones in on the way that Rudy Ray Moore would have to be. And it really makes me want to watch the original Dolemite, which is on Amazon Prime right now. And I got to definitely see that movie because, oh man, they do some crazy things that are just absolutely amazing. And to me, when I watched this film, it really felt like I was watching The Disaster Artist, which came out a couple of years ago. Obviously, the film about the worst movie ever made, the worst best movie ever made, which is Room, or The Room, sorry, with Tommy Wiseau, which I love Disaster Artist. And that's what this really reminded me of a lot. And so, and they definitely kind of had a very similar vibe, except for the only thing is that they took a lot more time explaining, who Rudy Ray Moore is, and also the fact that this isn't just about this guy trying to make a film. It's really about a bunch of different things. Whether it's him making comedic records or whether it's him doing stand-up. I mean, they really try to go above and beyond and showing you the struggles of this guy as he's trying to, again, break out on the scene and become a famous comedian. And it's very refreshing to see a film like this. And Netflix is killing it. I mean, they've done some amazing things this year. The Irishman comes out next week. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see that movie. It's 3.5 hours long. And so, yeah, it's going to be I definitely did not want to see it in theaters because of the runtime. And I can watch it in the comfort of my own home and get up and go to the bathroom and do, have breaks and things like that. But Dolemite Is My Name is a solid film. It's not as funny as people said. It's not top 10 of the year or anything like that, but it's a very good film with a phenomenal performance by Eddie Murphy that could propel him into the Oscars Best Actor conversation. So what do you guys think of Dolemite Is My Name? Let me know down below in the comment section of this video. And anyway, guys, that's it. That's it for That's a Wrap. I didn't get any questions this week, which is fine. Honestly, again, I wanted to make this a very quick video. I wanted to get this out before I went and saw Jojo Rabbit because I knew that if I didn't get it out earlier, then I wasn't going to get it out at all because I have other things I need to work on when I get home from the movie. Rogue One is done. I have finished editing my Rogue One review. That will be up tonight, so definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have a bunch of other stuff coming. Jojo Rabbit review will be coming up within the next coming days. AHS 84. I know I promised you guys I was going to do a review of that. I will be doing a review of that, and that should be up within the next couple of days as well. Jojo Rabbit will probably be up tomorrow, to be honest. And then A New Hope is going to be up this week. And then Knives Out. I'm going to go see an early screening of Knives Out on Saturday, and I'm really excited to go see it. It's been one of my most anticipated films all year, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So there's gonna be a lot of reviews coming on the channel, a lot of content. So definitely stay tuned. And if you are new, subscribe down below to my channel right now because there's gonna be a lot of stuff dropping, guys, and you don't want to miss any small thing. And turn on the notification bell so you can be updated every single time I drop a new video or I go live. Anyway, guys, make sure you guys drop a like on the video. And thank you again for watching this episode of That's a Wrap. And thank you so much for just your guys' support. It really means a lot to me. And it's been overwhelming the past week, really kind of gaining more and more subscribers throughout the week, which has been really nice. And I'm really appreciative of you guys. And I love that I can have a voice where I can share my thoughts on movies and entertainment. Anyway, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.